Hey guys, welcome to patch 8.12 notes breakdown. So I'm very excited to see how this one fares because I haven't really been impressed with 8.11. I like the idea of having multiple champions be viable in the bottom side. I don't like the idea of you eliminating marksman completely. I think that it's cool to see someone like Darius come up in the top side, of Vladimir being played in the bottom side, alongside, let's say, Janna. I think that's cool. I just don't like that there's only going to be 2 or 3 AD carries that are going to be viable because of these changes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen in this one. So starting up, we have champions. Elise, human and spider form movement speed increased, human W damage increased. So, Runic Echoes got changed to 8.10, and that was where it got movement speed. No, it got cooldown reduction instead of movement speed, if I remember correctly. So, obviously, for an AP jungler, movement speed is quite necessary because, yes, cooldown reduction is fine, but you can get that from pretty much every item. So having more movement speed means that you can more easily gank. So obviously they'll have to buff up her movement speed in order to become more relevant, to be able to gank more efficiently too, because it feels like for Elise, you're kind of forced to go for a flash cocoon to even have a possibility of getting a gank off. So I completely agree with the movement speed buffs, and I haven't seen enough of her to know whether or not she needed a damage buff on her volatile spider lanes. I would assume that she probably did, because it's always hard to clear the jungle as an AP jungler in the start of the game. You're just getting that extra 5, and then from there on just buffing it up by 10, 15, 20 and 25. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. Ezreal, armor decreased. Okay, so I'm not quite 100% sold on this one. I think that for someone like Ezreal, who's actually still fairly relevant in patch 8.11, now taking away his armor, well, at least some of his armor, means that he's just going to be more open to being punished by, let's say, Illusion or Kog'Maw. So I'm not 100% sold on those changes. But I guess we'll see. Ezreal's always been a very safe AD carry, but even then, at some point he's not going to be safe anymore because you've nerfed him that much. Kindred attack speed growth increased, Q speed increased, Q attack speed increased, sorry, E damage increased. So we've seen a little bit of Kindred lately come back because of Graves, but Graves just been stronger and better in team fights, and I feel like Kindred now, she's been buffed so many times that at some point they are going to hit the wall where she's going to come back. Will this be it? Maybe. I feel like the base stats and the Q changes should be good. I don't see the mounting dread as that being that impactful. Like, it's okay, but it's not something that's like overwhelming. But I do think that the attack speed is quite good because it does help her clear the jungle faster and perhaps get some more damage off whenever she's ganking. So I like those changes. Will this bring her back? I don't think so. You still have the Graves, you still have Camille, Trundle. In some senses you also have a Skarner. So I think it'll put her up. I don't think it'll necessarily make her so that she's going to be the next big pick. Lee Sin, W cooldown decreased, E damage increased. So W safeguard / iron will cooldown down, Tempest damage increased. Okay. I would love to see Lee Sin come back into the meta. I feel like he is always such a a fun jungler to watch whenever there's a meta that requires someone to be active on the map. I don't think these changes will be enough though. I think the base changes might help him clear a little bit better, but it's not going to bring him back as the top tier skirmish jungler. Poppy, passive cooldown decreased, late Q cooldown decreased, ratio increased. I don't think this will help that much either. Like, you have the top laners right now, the Ornn, Camille, Fiora, Darius, stuff like that. I don't think Poppy has a place between those because she needs a little bit of ramp up time. She needs a Sheen, or at least her Frozen Fist, whatever it's called. I can't remember that right now. But she needs that before she really becomes relevant. And I don't think that the top tier picks will allow her to even get to a point where she can get that item. So I don't think these changes are going to be that changing overall. I do think this will help her a little bit. But hell, it's still 8 and 7 seconds in the early game. Rumble, W shield increased, R damage increased. I don't think this will make any changes for Rumble either. Like, again, the current meta is all about ending games at 20 minutes. It's about snowballing. So Rumble, with his W shield increased and his old damage increased too, I don't see him getting picked because you still need to be able to get to that point where you can actually snowball. And Rumble's not going to get to that point. Because people, they will just shut him down. A Darius will come after him, or will be able to make ganks stick for the Graves of the Elise. Sejuani. Icebreaker deals less damage versus monsters, but no longer has a cooldown against them. More units can be frozen. W costs less. Now has AP radios. E damage and radio increased. Okay, so starting with the passive, the Fury of the North. I think it's nice that you then make it max 300 against epic monsters, because now it means max health. It's going to be better to use in the late game against some of the larger minions, because you now can use it on pretty much every monster. So I really like those changes. Makes her feel a little bit more good in the early game and in the, well, not necessarily the early game because you took away the 4 and the flat, but make her feel more streamlined as the time progresses in terms of epic monsters. But I like the cost benefit of it being that you can then also use it on large monsters, on super minions and siege minions. Rentis Wrath, and obviously because you took away some of the damage from a passive, you have to put some damage onto a Rentis Wrath. I think overall they are some very good changes, and that the Permafrost also brings more damage. I like these changes quite a lot. For Sejuani, I think it makes him more streamlined, more relevant in terms of clearing the jungle, because it means that she now has more damage in her abilities and have to rely more on them than her passive, which obviously shouldn't be the situation. That she shouldn't rely on her passive, she should rely on her abilities. Talia, Q rocks beyond the first, deals slightly less damage to champions. Well, she became a jungler. I actually don't think that she's that big of a problem. I don't think you should touch her at all. Like, if you want to do anything for her, you should make her a mid laner again instead of a jungler. Because now you're just gutting her even more. Like, the thing about Talia in the last patch was that she was good at ganking early on, and she had a lot of damage. Now you're taking away more of her damage, leaving her only to be a fairly good ganker. But even then, you kinda are just taking away her damage, which means you take away her relevancy. So she's just going to be gutted even more by this. Yorick, Q cooldown decreased late, missed walks and the maiden and now update that starts when Yorick stats changes. Okay. Haven't seen enough of Yorick to talk about this. I really like Pike, by the way. I think Pike's very nice. I really like his kit. I really like his playstyle. I think he's such a nice support in the bottom side. But in the current meta, where it's all about snowballing, he's very high risk, high reward because he doesn't get that extra health. So you'll die more easily as Pike if you get caught. So shields. Oh wait, what? Janna. Decay is over duration. Okay. I think that's nice. So I can see her being a problem with Vladimir because she's able to make it so that Vladimir doesn't lose health and still gets AD. But I don't think that you necessarily need to do this because she's strong when she's paired up with, let's say, an Ezreal or a Caitlyn or a Sivir. But those aren't actually really in the meta right now, so I don't think you need to tone her down in that sense. Karma, shield duration decreased, shield duration decreased, shield duration They're really nerfing the shields. I haven't even seen shields as being that big of a problem, honestly. I think... Like perhaps I could see the argument for it being a problem in the AD carry meta, but in the current meta I don't see it being a problem at all. But yeah, I guess this could make, well, I mean, Lulu has risen in popularity, Janna has risen in popularity, so I could see this perhaps tuning down the snowballiness a little bit because it makes it less safe to snowball and to have fighters in the bottom side. I guess. Items, Band of Command has been removed. I'm not mad about it, but I think it's ridiculous that you remove this item. I think that for Band of Command to work, you need to instead of giving it, I think it's 70 damage reduction from both magic and AD damage. I think instead you should just give it like 50 flat damage reduction, or perhaps 20, 30, something like that, and just make it so that it's good at pushing, but it's not a Cho'Gath that can only deal with it. I think you need to find some way of making it a fairly good early game pushing item while not giving it too much late game power, because it felt like they wanted to change it towards late game, and I don't think that item should be late game at all. It should be an early game risk. And that's by putting 20 or 30 just overall damage reduction onto it. And then making it, well, basically the same item, just without having the magic and attack damage reduction on it. And having it geared towards the late game. Storage Gauge Hazard grants bonus attack damage instead of base attack damage. So I think that... Can you guys hear that? I probably can't. You probably can. So I think that right here for Storage Gauge, having the bonus attack damage is okay, because it'll only be good once boosters they have ramped up. I think that for someone like, let's say, Camille or Darius, it's going to be such a good item, or even an Aatrox towards the later stages of the game. It's going to be such a good item, but they need to have AD first. They need to have the Black Cleaver, they need to have a Frozen Mallet, stuff like that, before they can actually use it. So I think it's okay, and it's just so much more, even at 24s, but it's just so much better now towards the later stages of the game, and I think that item should be geared towards the later stages of the game. 2 seconds, I need to have some tea while it's still hot. Okay, so that's just bug fixing. Okay, celerity. Bonus movement speed 50%, gain 9.6 AD or 16% AP of your bonus movement speed as bonus stats. Okay, so basically just making it. So basically making it so that it's better when you have a lot of movement speed and you don't have to rely on celerity's movement speed on its own to get that extra AD. I like those changes. I think that overall it makes more sense to have it geared towards other items than to be geared towards the actual rune. And because the actual rune shouldn't be the one granting you more AD, it should just be towards, let's say, the Blitzcrank or the guys getting the Shuralia's Reverie. It should be whenever you have that extra movement speed and not the rune in itself. Domination, Hail of Blades, bonus attack speed, better towards overall. Yeah, fine, I guess. Not something that I have a huge opinion on, to be honest. Last hit assistance. Okay. Making it easier for new players. Updated tutorials, woo! Yes! Emotes? I don't care. Yeah. Skins, I don't care. Yeah, well, that seems to be it. Thank you guys for watching once again. This has been the patch 8.12 breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of the videos that I'm making. More will come out during the summer because I have more time. Right now I am in the middle of my exams. And remember, you can find me on social medias, and then you can just keep an eye out for what I'm doing. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I do hope you'll have a great one.